Thrustmaster is one of the most well-known and trusted names in sim racing hardware, and its latest, the T598 bundle, is firmly aimed at those looking to make the leap from belt or gear-driven wheels to the more powerful and immersive direct drive wheel that have become so much more affordable in recent years. The Thrustmaster T598 bundle is available for just £449.99 or $499.99 in the US, and for that price you get a wheelbase that delivers 5 Newton meters of constant torque, a sports car wheel add-on, and a set of Raceline pedals LTE, and it's compatible with both PC and PlayStation 2, making it one of the few direct drive options for those on PS4 or PS5. In fact, the only competing PlayStation compatible products are Fanatec's Gran Turismo DD Pro, which is around £580 rough conversion or $699.95, which also comes with a wheel and pedals and has similar specs to Thrustmaster's offering. There's also the Logitech Pro Racing wheel, but that starts at around £1,000 or $1,000, and that's just for the wheelbase and a wheel. So as you can see, there's a gap in the market, and this is a product that is aiming to fill that gap. And if you haven't got your hands on one yet, we'll put a link down below in the description so you can go and get one for yourself. Thrustmaster has made some huge claims about the T598 on its website, stating that it allows sim racers to feel racing sensations like never before, and that the new generation of direct drive is here. So, does it live up to these claims, and is it any good? Well, no, but also yes, but also no, but also let me explain. Now, let's start off with the design first, because thanks to the Axial direct drive technology implemented in this wheelbase, and we'll have more on that later, it looks a lot different from any direct drive wheelbase I've ever used before, with a taller and much thinner design than even belt or gear driven wheels, with dimensions of 30cm by 28 by 32 with the wheel add-on attached. Now, although the more compact size will be a positive for most people, if you're someone who likes to add a racing dash to your setup, or you have a monitor very close to your wheel, you might find it's a little bit tall for your liking. Now, on the wheelbase itself, you have 4 plastic buttons to change settings on the fly, with a small screen that can display settings information or can be configured for RPM, gear, lap time, etc. Using this racing dash screen, you can set the T598 to perform in a variety of modes, both on PlayStation and PC, with the lowest setting called FFBD being the default, and it delivers a moderate amount of performance, and then you've got the highest, which is the FFB3, and that gives you the most aggressive output of feedback. For the bundle's price, the included sports car wheel is impressively well constructed and designed. The 30cm wheel boasts rubber grips, faux carbon fiber, mag-shift paddle shifters, and 17 buttons, but you can also configure way more thanks to a multi-function encoder, which turns the 4 buttons on the front into 12 different outputs, which is pretty cool. It also weighs only 811 grams and can be used in a wide variety of racing categories. It's also important to note that if you've already bought a fancy Thrustmaster wheel like the SF1000, you can use it with this wheelbase. And the same is true for any wheel in the Thrustmaster ecosystem, although some may require an adapter, which is very nice indeed. You also get a desk clamp in the box, although I'd always recommend a dedicated rig for direct drive wheelbases. The included Raceline pedals LTE include 2 pedals, a brake and an accelerator, springs to change the firmness of both, and non-slip pads for those not using them on a rig. But if you're looking for a clutch add-on, you're out of luck for now at least, with Thrustmaster saying it will be available soon, so we'll have to wait and see about that. Now, let's talk about performance, and let's talk more about Axial direct drive technology and the differences between it and the standard direct drive, which features radial flux motors rather than axial drive motors. And well, it's very technical, but the TLDR is that most direct drive wheels on the market right now use a radial flux motor, which features a tube with copper coils surrounding a rotor covered in magnets. This means the magnetism radiates perpendicularly to the shaft to generate the force feedback. Now, Axial direct drive, on the other hand, allows the magnetism to operate parallel to the motor. Now, according to Thrustmaster, this makes the T598 wheelbase the smoothest wheelbase on the market, thanks to zero cogging. Cogging is that snap-like feeling you experience with direct drive wheels when you turn, with the magnet snapping to the motor as the wheel turns. It also claims that this is the new era of direct drive technology, and that it can deliver more performance for a lower price, as less materials are needed in the manufacturing process. After using the T598 for a few weeks, I found it to be, yes, one of the smoothest wheelbases I've ever used. And even though it only produces 5 Nm of torque, thanks to the overshoot feature, it does feel like more like 8 Nm at a lot of points. But let me put it this way, if you're going from a belt or gear driven wheelbase to this, you will be in dreamland. You'll feel things that you've never felt before on a wheel. As entry level direct drive wheels go, the T598 is a strong new addition to the category. But let's also be real for a second. If you're buying a £449 direct drive bundle, you probably won't be able to notice the intricacies and sensations of cogging, and you probably won't be able to notice the subtle differences between the two direct drive technologies. Now look, I'm an experienced sim racer and I've reviewed direct drive wheels for years, and I was able to notice minor differences, and to be honest, it doesn't feel like a new era for direct drive. But with that said, it's still a really good wheel, Thrustmaster also claims that its high frequency vibrations technology, also called Harmony, allows players to feel all the physics of the game down to the smallest details, and that rumble strips and tire screeching have never felt so impactful. In my testing on games like Assetto Corsa Evo, Assetto Corsa, F124 and a few other titles, the T598 delivers good, even more than acceptable detail in the force feedback it offers. And again, it's a great wheel and it offers a great experience, but it just doesn't quite live up to some of Thrustmaster's, shall we say, rather ambitious claims. Despite that though, it does make me excited about what powerful Axial direct drive wheels could perform like in the future, considering this product's impressive performance, particularly considering the price point. And I'm not knocking any of the technology included in this wheelbase, it's clearly really impressive, but some of the marketing I think is a little bit over the top. One of the other features I unexpectedly really liked was the gear jolt feature, which jolts the wheel every time you make a gear change, and you can set it to run at various intensities. It just adds a little bit more immersion to the racing, and it isn't something I've ever seen on any other wheelbase, so I really like that addition. Plus, the included Raceline pedals LT are some of the best pedals I've tested in a bundle at this price point, with the Hall Effect pedals being a more than good enough addition to this wheelbase set. And thanks to the adjustable springs for both the brake and the accelerator, they can be configured in a way that suits your driver style. That's really nice. Now, we've talked about some of the, shall we say, ambitious claims made about the T598, but there's also this strange buzzing noise that emanates from the wheelbase when there's no input. I'm not sure if this has anything to do with Axial direct drive or not, but it's certainly something to be aware of, and hopefully can be fixed in software updates. I was also frustrated about the lack of support for customizing the wheel via the My Thrustmaster PC app, with settings only able to be changed on the wheel at time of writing, but hopefully this should be available soon. In conclusion, the Thrustmaster T598 is an impressive entry-level direct drive bundle that delivers excellent performance for the price point. Plus, the bundle being compatible with both PC and PlayStation successfully fills the gap, allowing sim racers on Sony's platform more choice to upgrade to direct drive, especially those who have already invested in Thrustmaster's ecosystem of wheels and or pedals. And although it doesn't quite live up to some of the big marketing claims, it's still a great direct drive experience, and I'd happily recommend it for those who want to upgrade from a gear or belt driven wheel like the Logitech G29, the G923, or even a Thrustmaster T300 RS GT or the T248. I'm giving the Thrustmaster T598 bundle a 4 out of 5 in my review for Mirror Gaming. And that's it for my review of the Thrustmaster T598 bundle. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you've already got your hands on one, let me know what you think. If you're looking to buy one, and if you've got any questions, pop a comment in the comment section and I'll try my best to read them all and respond to them when I can. If you like this video, drop a like and get subscribed, because there's plenty more hardware reviews to come in the next few weeks. That's all from me though. I'll see you out on the track, I guess.